So what we have here is a really close-knit team. Everybody works together and everybody operates as a whole unit. So moving around the tower, we have the watch manager who's supervising the whole operation. Moving through to the assistant position. The assistant position is very important. We do the Met observations from here. All the non-aircraft communication comes in and out through the assistant position. Moving around to the air controller. The air controller is in charge of the runway, and the air controller's job is to manage the departure aeroplanes with the arrival aeroplanes, make sure the gap sizes on the arrivals are sufficient to get the required number of departures away to operate the runway safely, make sure that only one aircraft at a time is authorised to use the runway, and make sure the flow of aeroplanes in and out of the airport are managed as efficiently and ultimately as safely as possible.
I mean, how many, do we know numbers on a normal day here?
So yes, Luton is a very busy airport and becoming increasingly so. We, in the summer, will operate almost 500 flights a day from Luton Airport. We're also either the second or the third busiest business aviation airport in Europe, depending on the time of year. We have over 100 business jets on the ground at any one time, and they make up 30% of our total movements.
One runway, I presume one airplane only on that runway at any one time. That's a lot of planes that have to slot in amongst a choreographed routine?
Yes, absolutely. It's like watching a well-choreographed dance every day. Where there's one runway, we're allowed to use one aircraft at a time on the runway, and the whole mantra of what we're trying to do in air traffic control, and ultimately what we do very safely every day, is we manage 250 or thereabout aircraft from their parking stands on the airfield out to the runway holding points in the correct order, at the correct time, in the correct sequence to go flying. We make sure they can go flying absolutely safely and in a manner which integrates with the rest of the UK network and ultimately the European network. And then we reverse the process and we have 250 odd arrivals every day, landing one at a time on the runway, being integrated with the flow of departures and arriving safely on stand for people to land in the UK.
The two rolls up here, what are they part of?
So this is what I would describe as the beating heart of the airport. This is the ground movement controller. The ground movement controller drives the entire performance of the airfield. The job here is to safely manage every outbound flight from its stands, and we have stands all the way around the back of the airfield, to safely manage that flow of traffic out to the runway holding points, and we have to do that in the correct order, depending on the routing of the aircraft, at the correct time, depending on sector loading at air traffic control centres down route, and in the right relationship to each other. And we have to do that safely in all weather conditions, bearing in mind runway conditions, taxiway conditions, visibility, wind, and so on and so forth.
And we've got one final roll up here.
One final roll. This is the ground movement planner. The ground movement planner works very much in partnership with the ground movement controller and ensures that all the aircraft, by the time they are talking to the ground movement controller, who's the executive controller, have got the right flight plan, they've got the right ATC clearance, and they're ready to push and start their engines.
Quite a young team you've got up here, and also it's very, very calm. Not what I thought this stressful world of air traffic control was going to be like.
Most people say that, and most people come into an air traffic control tower and they are very surprised. We keep the environment very calm, we keep it very quiet, and we keep it very organised.
Do we have to be coming from a background of aviation? Do we need to know how we fly fighter planes to be able to work up here? And is there a way of kind of getting involved and finding out what NATS is looking for?
We have people working in air traffic control from all walks of life. Even at Luton, we have people who used to be insurance salesmen, mortgage advisors, restaurant chefs. I have a teacher working here. It takes anybody and everybody.
And not a bad view from your office.
And I think I have the best view from the office of anybody in Bedfordshire.